And part of this AI incursion can sometimes present an issue where people might feel that they're worthless, or they might feel challenged, like, what good are you doing? These are the kind of questions that if they provoke fear, and it doesn't make any sense.
On top of fear.
Then that would be a false voice talking.
Absolutely.
So it's really important for people to tune in and recognize that. Ask questions, even if you're feeling that this thought came to you, but it's not your thought.
No.
So these are the things to be aware of in this interesting time that we're starting to enter into.
Yes, these divine souls trump AI, period.
Yes.
You speak of this as, you call it REVHUMANISm.
Yes.
I'd never heard that before. So tell us what that means.
Okay.
And then we're going to go into the subject of free will a bit.
Okay, good.
What's our will?
Yes.
Versus outside, versus manipulation.
Okay, REVHUMANISm is a word. I wanted to give credit back to this indigenous way of thinking. And so I came up with a word to counterbalance this transhumanism, because we hear the word transhumanism, and rather than be opposed to it, it's good to have something to be in favor of. So to be in favor of REVHUMANISm means to recognize this renewal possibility, revitalization, and reverence. And these qualities are part of our divine being. So it's really the divinity within all of nature, within ourselves, and to recognize that that exists. It's kind of like that sparkle, that light that we each have, that feeling of love that comes from the heart, that genuine sense of connection. And these things are critical, absolutely essential. And without them, the world could just atrophy into this other possibility. So it's
absolutely.
It's another option instead of transhumanism.
Yeah, I mean, going into the even more fully embracing the totally materialistic view of life. We're already hopefully kind of getting toward the tail of that dog. But meanwhile, we have the human being historically knows that we're part of other realms. Everyone watching this knows there are other realms, be it playful, be it angelic, even those who play tricks on, even tricksters, but that we're one realm among many.
Yes.
And that interface between realms is where a lot of intelligence comes from. So if we wipe that out and just go for a simple, sophisticated, continued development of algorithms, what happens to our multidimensional connection with the other realms?
Well, it's seriously atrophied at that point. I think it still exists, because I believe it's so...
It's still trying to reach us,
it's still trying
but we're
to
not
reach.
acknowledging it at that point.
Right. And so this is the great battle that's happening right now, if you want to use that word. It does seem like it's a battle for our hearts, minds, and souls. And so this is the time to really tune in and listen to the difference. If you hear a voice that doesn't seem to have that soul, then question it deeply, because something that has the soul of this idea of REVHUMANISm will come through with a lightness, a vibrancy, a sense of possibility, a sense of joy. And if you don't feel any of those things... And gentleness, for sure. So those are the key things to feel and look for. And when we recognize that this is possible, then we can start to experience it more and more and expand our high sense perception, moving into this interdimensional realm and our own evolution as interdimensional beings.
So that requires making choices, and that gets us to the subject of free will.
Yes.
And multidimensional access to self, higher mind, lower mind, etc. So let's get into it, because it's usually not explained very well.
Right. Yeah, it's really not. I like to start, just to give people a point of reference, with Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz, the philosopher, and he was an extraordinary genius. He came up with the idea of calculus along with Sir Isaac Newton. And I'm starting there because he had these beautiful ideas along with the Philosophia Perennia, which is the perennial philosophy, which means that at the pinnacle of a sort of a pyramid of thought, at the very top would be the infinite, the eternal, the absolute. And then all of the paths of philosophy and spirituality that lead up to it, they're physically felt. They're the ones that are practical, down to earth, that we can observe day to day and follow. But somewhere along the line, they all come together at that pinnacle, at the point, at the top. And that's where this eternal, infinite love exists.